Yeah. Pull up a chair. Mic check, DJ, you in the room? Turn that up. Need that needle touch wax, hear that crackle, that scar and groove. That's the stories of the block spinning live in the room. From the craze to the cloud, I've been carrying the sound. Same kid on the corner, now I'm narrating the town. Golden era in my headphones. New world in my phone. Still respect the payphone. Still protecting my home. Every cipher on the stairwell was a church, was a school. Now we back to the cipher. Same heart, sharper tools. Back to the cipher. We live, we love, we learn here. DJ, you spin truth, let the whole hood burn clear. Culture in the clip, let it bang, let it bang. If you feel this, say the name, say the name. Back to the cipher. Back to the cipher. Yeah. This that uncle on the stoop talk.
Little man, keep your
Mixed with homie on a Zoom call.
plotting how we get
Talk drama, talk taxes, talk bars, talk practice, talk babies, talk ballads, talk scars, turn classics. Every verse is a voice, every guess is a page. From the barbershop debates to the mics on the stage. When the system don't see us, we still building our lane. Use the pain like a break beat, flip struggle to gain. From the vinyl in the basement to the you on the rise. From the cipher in the hallway to the light in their eyes. If you came from the silence but you dying to speak, pull up, park, here we go line for line every week. Back to the cipher. We live, we love, we learn here. DJ, you spin truth, let the whole hood burn clear. Culture in the clip, let it bang, let it bang. If you feel this, say the name, say the name. Back to the cipher. Back to the cipher. Yeah, yeah. From the vinyl in the basement to the youth on a ride. From the cipher in the hallway to the light in they eye. If you came from the silence but you dying to speak. Pull up, park, here we go line for line every week.
Yo, peace. Welcome to the show. I'm DJ Universe, and I want to start with a line that hit me right in the chest. Back the Cypher should be a search-driven engine, but it's hard to find. Yeah, that right there. What's up, family? This is Back the Cypher, powered by Down by Law Management LLC, where we don't just move in the culture, we learn, adjust, and elevate. And today, man, this episode is really about awareness. Because when you're building something real, not something fake, not something thrown together, but something with purpose, people start paying attention. I know that energy. I came up from Ohio, moved to Florida, started from scratch. And one thing I learned as an artist manager, DJ, producer, engineer, content creator, entrepreneur, all of that, is when you keep building, eventually somebody sees the work. They may not always say it the way you expect. They may not always come with applause first. Sometimes they come with a message that makes you stop and really look at what you built. And that's what happened here. Somebody reached out and basically said, this should be a search-driven engine, but it's hard to find. Now, some people, they hear that and get defensive. They hear that and think, oh, that's criticism. They hear that and shut down. But me? No, I take that as game. Because there's a difference between somebody throwing shade and somebody giving insight. And this felt like insight. It felt like somebody saying, yo, there's something here. There's value here. There's potential here. But the signal ain't coming through clear enough. That's not hate. That's awareness. And awareness matters. A lot of people out here are grinding hard, posting, promoting, pushing, building, but not stopping long enough to ask what the outside world is actually seeing or not seeing. And if somebody takes the time to point at the gap, you don't ignore that. You study it. So that's the space I'm in with this episode. Not bitterness, not ego, not let me prove somebody wrong. Nah, this is bigger than that. This is about understanding what happens when the vision is there, the work is there, the mission is there, but the connection between the platform and the people searching for it is weak. Because if people are paying attention enough to say that, then that means Back the Cypher is already on the radar. That means there's already motion, there's already presence. The issue isn't whether something real exists. The issue is whether the world can find it the way it should. And I'm always going to be honest with y'all. Growth doesn't always show up looking comfortable. Sometimes growth sounds like a hard truth. Sometimes it sounds like you got something powerful, but it's not landing right. And if you really care about legacy, if you really care about elevation, then you don't run from that. You lean in. So yeah, somebody's watching. Somebody noticed. Somebody saw what Back the Cypher could be, and also saw where the disconnect is. And to me, that's the moment. That's the signal. That's the wake-up call that says, don't just keep building. Build with awareness. Let's talk about the real issue, because what was said was real. People are searching, but they're not finding you. That's the problem. Not that the content doesn't exist. Not that the value isn't there. Not that the vision is missing. The content exists. The value is there. But the signal? The signal isn't clear. And in today's world, that matters more than people want to admit, because if you're not searchable, you're invisible. I'm going to say that again for the artists in the back, for the brands, for the platforms, for anybody building online. If you are not searchable, you are invisible. Now, the obvious pushback is, but I'm posting, I'm active, I'm putting content out. Cool. But that's not the same thing. That's where a lot of artists and even platforms make the mistake. They focus on creating content, but not on getting discovered. And those are not the same move. You can make content every day. You can upload. You can promote. You can stay busy. Busy does not automatically mean visible. I mean, that's the hard part, right? Because it feels like work, and it is work. But if people are searching and still not finding you, then something in the positioning is off. That's why this hit me. Because YouTube isn't just a platform, it's a search engine. That changes the whole conversation. The question stops being, did I post something? And becomes, did I position something? Those are two very different mindsets. Posting content is like dropping it off and hoping it travels. Positioning content is strategy. It's intention. It's making sure the signal is strong enough that when people go looking, what you built actually appears. That's the difference between existing online and being discoverable online. So now the question becomes, and this is the question I'm asking myself with Back the Cypher, are we posting content or are we positioning content? Because if the goal is discovery, then the signal has to match the search. If the goal is growth, then the value has to be findable. And I think that's where a lot of independent creators get tripped up. They know how to create, they know how to speak, they know how to perform, they know how to build something with heart. But discovery, searchability, that part gets overlooked until somebody points out the gap. Not because the talent isn't there, not because the message isn't strong, but because the signal isn't clear enough for the world we're in now. And the world we're in now is driven by search, discovery, and visibility. So if people are searching and not finding you, that's not a small issue. That is the issue. So this chapter of the journey, for me, is really about separating effort from effectiveness. Just because something is being made doesn't mean it's being found. Just because something is valuable doesn't mean it's discoverable. And if Back the Cypher is meant to be more than just content, if it's meant to be an engine, then the signal has to be fixed. Now let me be clear. I'm not here acting like I got everything figured out. I'm still learning, still adjusting, still building. But I will say this, when somebody reaches out with insight, you listen. Period. Because growth comes from feedback, data, and strategy. Not just hustle, not just grind. Growth comes from being willing to see where the disconnect is and do something about it. So I'm stepping into that conversation. I want to understand where the disconnect is, how to tighten the targeting, and how to make Back the Cypher more searchable. That's the work. Not just hearing the message, but actually engaging with it, actually learning from it, actually adjusting the system. Because this is what evolution looks like. Back the Cypher started as a promotion platform, a marketing engine, a crowdfunding voice. That was real. That mattered. That was part of the mission. But growth means you don't stay frozen in the first version of what you built. Now it's evolving into something more. A searchable hub, a discovery engine, a digital ecosystem. That's a different level of intention right there. Not just, we got content, not just we got episodes, but we are building something people can actually find. That's how you grow. You adapt. And this ain't just about me. This is for every independent artist listening, every creator, every brand trying to cut through the noise. If your music, your brand, your content isn't being found, then you are leaving opportunity on the table, straight up. So ask yourself, can people find me? Am I searchable? Am I positioned to win? Those questions matter now. Maybe more than ever. Because talent alone is not enough anymore. You can be dope. You can be original. You can have value. But if the signal is weak, the discovery suffers. And if discovery suffers, the growth slows down. That's why this conversation matters. That's why feedback matters. That's why strategy matters. So the takeaway for me is simple. We're not just building content. We're building systems. We're not just dropping episodes. We're building visibility. And we're not just grinding. We're learning how to move smarter. As we continue to build Back the Cypher, we're dialing in strategy, discovery, and growth. That's the direction. That's the evolution. That's the adjustment. Because legacy isn't just what you create. It's whether the world can connect to it when they go looking. This is DJ Universe. And as always, we don't just talk legacy. We build it. And now we're making sure the world can find it. Teamwork makes the dream work. And hustle is the muscle that moves mountains. So, on that note, until the next episode, gratitude, blessings, and one love. Peace.
They lights low, speakers up. It's DJ U on the set. Energy up, vibes high. It's legacy in motion. From the ground to the skyline, blueprint on my mind. I turn studios to boardrooms, plotted every line, talking hustle with the wisdom, vision in my veins. I paved roads with records, learned the business in the pain. Independent grind, I built it brick by brick. Pulled dreamers from the corner, showed them how to flip the script. I'm pushing culture forward, signature on every wave. Turn passion to a product, now they chanting out my name. Yeah, I'm playing chess when they moving checkers. 10 steps ahead, learn the lessons from the legends. Beat drive heavy, grind even heavy. I showed another way when they told me it was never. I'm making legacy moves for the culture, by the culture. We taking dreams off the block, now we rising from the gutter. Spin these records like I'm spinning, hoping to gold. Empires from the vinyl, watch the story unfold. I'm making legacy moves, yeah, I said what I said. Turn visions into plans, and I'm always 10 ahead. For the streets, for the hustles, for the truth in the booth. This is victory in motion, every beat is the proof. I broke the backdoor deals, now I own the entrance. Put artists on the payroll, now they savor independence. Behind the scenes, pulling strings, I'm the quiet storm. My pal and my people making moguls from the norm. This is more than just an anthem, it's a strategy. We lifting every voice, spinning, struggling to clarity. If they box us out, we'll just build another lane. From the crates to the charts, I made fortune from the pain. Late nights, mixing tracks, dreams mapped on the wall. Calculated every setback, now I'm rising through it all. Every chorus is a promise, every verse a street code. I manifest them all while I'm grinding in beast mode.
I'm making legacy moves for the culture, by the culture. We taking dreams off the block, now we rising from the gutter. Spin these records like I'm spinning, hoping to gold. Empires from the vinyl, watch the story unfold. I'm making legacy moves, yeah, I said what I said. Turn visions into plans, and I'm always 10 ahead. For the streets, for the hustlers, for the truth in the booth. This is victory in motion, every beat is the proof.
All gas, no brakes, we don't settle for less. From cassette tapes to playlists, built respect through the stress. Moving silence, but my impact is loud. The future's in the hands of the brave and the proud. Oh. Yeah. DJ, you from the city hard to the world stage. Spin, hope, and hustle, write the lines, flip the page. For the ones who came before, for the ones breaking through. This is forever a legacy move on.